Those people in public and they're like sitting by themselves, they're walking by themselves, they're eating by themselves, or you'll see somebody on social media who is going on dates, they're solo traveling, and they're doing everything that you would want to do. Like, you're like, this looks so fun, I want to do this. But every time you get the urge to do something, you're like, oh, well, I don't have anyone to go with me, I don't have anyone to do this with, blah 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 blah. You think they thought that. You don't think that that thought didn't cross their mind, and you're sitting there like, oh, how are they able to solo travel? How are they able to do this? How are they able to do that? This is how they're able to do things solo. They just do it. I'm so excited to be sharing this video with you guys. I'm having a not so good hair day, but we still gonna get this video out because you guys are important to me and I love sharing my content with you guys, and a little hair ain't gonna stop nothing. So today we're gonna learn how to be okay with doing things by ourselves, okay? Because we came in this world by ourselves, so we have to be comfortable living in this world by ourselves and also accepting other people. But a lot of the times we don't even feel comfortable with ourselves, so we don't even value other people, or we don't even value ourselves. And it's time that we value ourselves so that we can start doing the things that we want to do in life. Those people in public and they're like sitting by themselves, they're walking by themselves, they're eating by themselves, or you'll see somebody on social media who is going on dates, they're solo traveling, and they're doing everything that you would want to do. Like, you're like, this looks so fun, I want to do this. But every time you get the urge to do something, you're like, oh, well, I don't have anyone to go with me, I don't have anyone to do this with, blah 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 blah. You think they thought that. You don't think that that thought didn't cross their mind, and you're sitting there like, oh, how are they able to solo travel? How are they able to do this? How are they able to do that? This is how they're able to do things solo. They just do it. They just go out there and they do it. Because if you wait on people your entire life, people aren't you. People don't have the same goals, ambitions, dreams, hopes as you. So if it's not something they want to do, they're not going to pursue that thing as hard as you want to do it. So you're waiting on people to do something that you want to do. You're waiting on people to do something that you feel in your heart, like, oh, I want to go there, or I want to experience this. You're waiting on that from other people who aren't you, who aren't feeling those feelings. So you're just going to be waiting your entire life for people to do something that they really don't want to do, when you can just go do it yourself. And it sounds very, very scary. But once you start to, I used to hate when people told me this, but once you start to be comfortable with yourself, entertain yourself, have fun by yourself, it becomes easier to do bigger things by yourself. Like, I didn't start off doing these big things by myself. Like, I didn't start off doing big things by myself. I started off going for walks by myself. I started out, well, people would say that's kind of like a big thing, I guess. Like, I started going to lunch by myself. I started spending time with myself, going to the movies, all those different things. And this was the advice people had given me when I was like a chronic dater, because I wanted a partner so bad. And I remember my sister told me, she said, you need to date yourself. Like, she was like, before she got married, before she met her husband, she dated herself. She took herself to the movies, she did all those different things, and I was so engulfed in other people that I would wait on other people to do things. And she was like, just, go and do it with yourself. So I started going to eat by myself, and this started while I was at UGA, while I was in college. I would go to the dining hall by myself. Because I would ask people to go places, and they would be like, actually, I had this one friend, and I would ask her to do everything, and she got into a relationship, and she just stopped wanting to do things. And so I was like, well, I still want to do things. Like, what do I do? Do I wait on her to do this? No. So I went and found other friends, but I also went to go do things by myself. So I started going to the dining hall by myself. I started walking to class by myself. I started doing all these different things by myself because I didn't have anyone to go with me, and I wanted to do it. And at first it was scary, and I thought that I looked really stupid sitting there by myself. But then I'm like, bro, I'm hungry. Why am I finna wait for somebody to eat? I'm literally hungry. Why am I about to sit here and wait? Also, so many circumstances in life where life forced me to be by myself. Like my pregnancy, life literally forced me to be alone. And I could have went and dated. I could have went and did all these different things while pregnant. But I chose to be by myself because I knew that other people weren't going to fill that void. And you have to stop trying to fill the emptiness, fill the void with other people, because they're never going to be enough. If your presence by yourself isn't enough, their presence is never going to be enough, because you're searching for something. You're searching for a feeling of validation. You're searching for love. You're searching for all these different things. And if you can't find that within yourself, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So many people think that, oh, self-love has to be perfect, blah, blah, blah. People who love themselves make mistakes. People who love themselves don't hit it every time. And that's okay. That is the epitome of self-love, is loving the mistakes, loving the process. and loving when you go through things to teach you how to get where you need to be. And I could have chosen to go and date and feel the void and do all those different things, but I would have never faced the reality of my emotions. And that is the reason why people don't want to be alone, because they don't want to face the reality of their emotions. And sometimes subconsciously we think that we're not enough. People think that they're not enough. They think that they're not fun to be around. They think that they're boring. They think all these different things about themselves. So they feel like when they get around other people, the other people are what is entertaining them, or the other people make the moment rather than them making the moment, because they think that they're so boring or so these different things that other people make up the moment and they don't make up anything. But when you start to realize that you are an amazing person, you're entertaining, you love having fun with yourself, and you find joy in being with yourself. So many people act like being alone is a punishment. So many people act like being by themselves is a punishment. And you know how crazy that is to think that being by yourself, the person that's going to be with you your entire life, is a punishment? Do you know how like sad that is to think of yourself that way? To like really sit there and think about it. Like, it's really sad that people think that being alone, being by themselves, being by the person who will always show up for them, who will always be there for them, is a punishment. Do you know how crazy that is to think that way about yourself? No, like, you have to change your perspective about yourself. You have to tell yourself, I love being with myself. I love that I always show up for myself. I love that I keep the promises that I make to myself. I love that I always show up for myself. But in order to do that, you have to really show up for yourself, and you have to keep the promises that you make to yourself. You can't keep lying to yourself. You can't keep doing those things. And if you want to do something, the biggest way to show yourself that you're serious about what you're going to do is to say you're going to do something and do it. If you say, I want to go to the movie Saturday, and you plan to go to the movie Saturday, you plan to go with your friends, and your friends are like, oh, well, something came up, I'm not able to anymore. You still get up and you go to the movies, because you're teaching yourself that even when people don't show up, or if things happen, oh my gosh, I do not like my hair, or people have other things to do in life, I'm still going to show up for me. I'm still going to be there for myself. I'm still going to be there for what I want to do, and I'm going to experience the things that I want to experience. Because the more that when people cancel on you, you cancel on yourself again. You're just telling yourself that you're not fun enough, you're not able to do it, and other people have to be there with you. You're telling yourself that your presence is not enough. And sometimes people are going to cancel on us, and that's something we're going to have to be okay with. But if you want to experience something, go experience it. Don't wait on other people. Don't wait on them to confirm that they're going to do this. If you have plans to go to a really nice restaurant, and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to wait on my friends to do this, I'm going to wait on my friends to do that, and then your friend cancels, still go to that fancy restaurant, dress up, do your makeup, show up for yourself. If you do your makeup to go somewhere else, or if you do your makeup to go on a date with somebody else, you can do your makeup to go on a date with yourself. If you dress nice for somebody else, or you dress nice to impress other people, you can dress nice for yourself. You have to show up for yourself. Look at yourself as valuable. When you wake up in the morning, do things. Do your skincare, do your hair, do your makeup, do whatever you need to do the same exact way that you would do it if you were trying to impress somebody else. Impress yourself, and that's how you're going to become more comfortable with doing the things that you want to do in life for yourself, by yourself.